Okay, so we are here looking at day 2 of your graphic organizer, again identifying the main idea or what these pages or this text selection was mostly about. Yesterday you only had 2 pages to look at, so a couple paragraphs. Remember in 4th grade you might look at just a paragraph of the text, you might look at a few pages, you might even have to identify the overall main idea of an entire text. So in this section of the graphic organizer we're looking at just a selection of pages here together. So identifying the main idea and then details that support. So we started on page 14. We learned a little bit about the coral snake and then other harmless snakes such as the king snake and the milk snake. And if we paid close attention to this information, we learned that these animals have very similar color and patterns. And the reason for that is that, yes, the coral snake is poisonous, telling other animals to leave it alone. But this harmless snake down here that looks very similar uses its colorings and its markings to look kind of like the coral snake so that it can avoid predators. If we continue on in this section of the text to page 15, we learn more about this snake and how it can kind of blend into the grass, making it harder to see. Zoom in a little bit. Then we got to page 16, and there's a picture of a boy here, and it looks like he's grabbing a branch. But this section of the text made us aware that sometimes snakes can live in trees and blend in very well. So if you were walking through like a forest, for example, and you grabbed a vine, you want to make sure you're grabbing a vine and not the snake. And on page 17, we saw this snake here, and it is blending in with these rocks here on the floor, on the ground rather, and it is sitting and waiting to eat this mouse. And finally, on page 18, the last one, again, we can kind of tell by looking at it, our background knowledge tells us that this snake is using camouflage and trying to trick its prey so that it can hunt. So overall, I think the main idea of these text pages is really focused on the snake's coloring, because when I look at the illustrations, I see they're all colored differently, but there was something in common from page to page. So I might write something like, snakes are different colors to hide from predators and help catch their prey. Again, your answer might be slightly different, but as long as you recognize that these pages were all discussing the snake's colors and then tying it back to that idea that they're different colors to help them survive, then you're right on track. So now if we go over here and look for details that support, one detail that supports the main idea is, I looked here at this first page and I thought about how these two really closely resemble each other. So I recorded this detail, that some snakes resemble poisonous snakes enough that predators leave them alone. And you might have a different detail. As long as it's supporting your main idea that you've stated about having different colors and using those colors to help survive from predator and also to help catch prey, then you're right on track. Another key supporting detail is, so I kind of like summarized really in my own words this page where we're using our color to sort of blend in with the environment. But then I also tied in this one because I know that for my main idea on mine, I included that idea of predator and then prey. And right here I talked about predators, but now I want to talk a little bit about prey. And that's what I thought of when I saw page 17. So I recorded another supporting detail is some snakes can blend in with their surroundings and wait for their prey. Great job. Tomorrow we'll go over day 3, talking about pages 22 and 23 in the text.